fuck over.
Nah.
This the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space. Now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. The wrestling world is buzzing. Is it finally going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Are we getting the return of AJ Lee this Friday on SmackDown in Chicago? Welcome everybody to another edition. Sorry, Al and I had to miss last week. Thank you to Vince and Cap for holding it down. Great show. That went into major extra innings.
Well,
but
you had to figure that.
Yeah, well, there was a lot. And there was a lot to cover tonight. We got to talk about Clash in Paris. We do have to talk about Raw. And we have to dive into if we are getting AJ Lee or is it going to be a twist. And I have a couple theories that I want to throw out. But I think first we should be starting with Clash in Paris. And I do want to say this. The best part of the Clash in Paris was the crowd. That crowd was unbelievable. When you think they can't get any louder, they get louder. And they sing everybody out. It just, that alone to watch, to me, is worth everything. And all the, we got Raw, we got SmackDown, and the Raw, the crowd was just electric. So big ups to the Paris crowd for sure.
That AJ style crowd
on Raw was insane.
On another level. Like that was so awesome.
Yeah.
Like to be acknowledged in that way should feel incredible. Incredible.
Well, so AJ and TNA, so back in the day in Europe, TNA was on a lot of free TV channels. So when they went over there for live shows, they would always get big reactions. And AJ Styles, there's not a video of it, but there was a notable house show in England where his Ready to Fly theme song, the whole crowd sang the theme song on his way to the ring, and it was like a big moment because it was like, oh wow, he's over in Europe. And I guess that hasn't changed because the French crowd feels the same way.
It's pretty good, man. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what. I've heard great pops before, but the roar of it while they were doing it, it was like nobody else in there, and they did a great job with everybody else.
Oh yeah, because they had like chants and little things for like John Cena.
New chants. They had like 4 new chants I've never heard before.
And then one, they were there was, I don't know if it was on TV, but during one of the commercial break, they played a video promoting the next France tour, and the whole crowd started chanting, "We have no more money."
I did hear that.
that
was great.
Yeah.
But it just shows you they're feeling it also, just like we are. But listen, it didn't stop them from being absolute monsters from the start to the very end. And I thought the booking was right. The pace of the show was right. I thought the show overall was pretty damn good. Was it predictable? Sure. But then again, it wasn't in some aspects. But I thought overall it was a great show. For me, it was kind of special too because my daughter actually showed interest in wanting to watch it. Come to find out later, it's because she thinks Roman Reigns is hot.
Oh, wow.
Not what you want to hear. But she did watch the whole show and she got into it and she wants to watch more. So
There are worse choices than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
True, but she's 12.
Did you see Kat's name yet?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. What's going on, Kat? Welcome.
Thanks.
Talking about the Paris crowd for the Clash and how amazing they were.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they really
Absolutely unbelievable. I figured I'd leave it up for this week just in case, I get in trouble from last week. But,
I thought it was great. Trust me, if you were getting in trouble, you would have heard about it already.
This is definitely true.
Yeah.
Right? So they kicked
We're
it
still
off
here,
right
Vince.
Woo! For now. So
This is true.
So they kicked it off with our tribal chief against the tribal thief. I thought it was a great way to start. That crowd, as always, for Roman was just absolutely electric. And I thought the match was great. I thought that it made Bronson look like a real player. I loved everything about the match. And then you get the aftermath. Obviously, once we saw the spear through the table from Breaker, I kind of right away thought in my head, okay, they're writing him off, Street Fighter, whatever. But it was a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
My only thing is I thought maybe it went a little too long. But other than that, I thought it was great. Everything from him getting his shoes back, Paul Heyman's mannerisms and taking the choke out, and then Roman getting his shoes back and signing it and launching it into the crowd. Those are probably up on eBay already for a lot of money. And then just the absolute destruction of Roman. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to finish it. Again, I thought maybe it went a little too long. But other than that, I guess we're not going to see Roman now probably till the end of September.
Yeah.
Which I thought was strange that they did this kind of write-off angle for him, but they didn't really do one for Cody. Like, he got the belt.
He got a Claymore through the announce table front end, I guess.
Oh, the front end. All right, the dreaded
different.
front end. That's like the ring apron. By God, it's the hardest part of the ring.
Too funny. Hi, everyone. Steve,
what's
if
up,
I can
Laura?
interject really quick, there's a comment on there from my friend and my coworker Tanya. Her son Joey is the kid that came up with that match about the steel cage match about the wrestlers fighting the reverse steel cage. They have to get in the cage in order to win the match. So he's a diehard wrestling fan and he's allowed to watch for a few minutes. So
awesome. I thought that was definitely an interesting concept.
Right? That was
it was
not
definitely
bad.
different.
But he's going to go to bed in a few minutes, so I wanted to give him his 2-second shout out there.
Oh yeah, and he explained how, and I agreed with him how the TNA reverse battle royal is just not good. But like his idea of like a reverse battle royal where the first person to climb a cage and get in, like you could really have a lot of people like climbing the cage and somebody grabs them down, big bumps and stuff, spots off the cage. Somebody crashes into the cage. Like, there's a lot more you can do with it than just like the TNA reverse battle royal,
Especially if it was like a cage that was like from AEW last week when it actually covered the entire ringside area.
Oh goodness,
that would be huge. Oh God.
Okay, sorry. Hi guys. So
it's bring your kid to the podcast night.
Yes, it is. So do you remember? I remember this. Mom let me stay home from school, but Crown Jewel when Brock Lesnar faced Roman Reigns and they speared each other through the cage. The way to win, what if they speared the opposite way? Into the cage instead of out of the cage.
Yeah, okay.
I sobbed my eyes out.
Yeah, that was the best birthday present ever, watching that happen to you. Sorry. It happened on my actual birthday.
I need to know if Tanya's off so I can say what I want to say.
Goodbye. Okay, let's you can go back to Paris now, Steve. I'm sorry. See, now I am going to get fired.
We need her on a separate phone in a different room so that Steve can mute and unmute her as he sees fit.
I get kicked out of the studio and she gets muted. It's a win-win situation.
Something tells me there would be a lot more time she's muted than not.
I had a mute button all the freaking time.
And that's all out of love. So then you had the tag team championships. You had the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. Again, entrance, Wyatt Six. That crowd singing, and then even the Eiffel Tower being all with the fireflies, the whole crowd with all their cell phones out, singing the Wyatts down to the ring was just, I mean, it was a goosebump feel. And then the match was great. It does look like we are getting to the end of the Street Profits.
Yes.
It looks like that is happening. I don't understand why, to be honest. I think they're going to be so much better together than not.
You think so?
I do. They're teasing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Do
well,
you
they've
think
teased
they're
it before.
better together than what's his name going by himself? I think he's a superstar, bro.
Enzo and Cass.
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think they can both succeed on their own.
Right.
I just think together, there's no reason to split them up right now.
This is going to be a Rockers type situation.
You think the other guy's going to fall off?
I hope not.
D'Angelo, right?
D'Angelo,
Angelo
yeah.
will fall off
D'Angelo
sooner
will
than
fall.
Montez.
I
But
mean,
he's come
Montez-
such a long way, too. Like, he's
Has.
not bad. He holds his own.
I
Montez
know.
Ford ain't going anywhere, for
No.
sure.
It's true.
But
You
then,
know,
and then what? Does BFAB get wish good luck in her future endeavors?
She's a waste of space, to be honest.
She is.
She does nothing for me. She's another one.
Damn.
I mean, what? One week she's with the Profits, one week she's not. Like, I don't know. It's
One
like
week she's
they
helping
can't.
Michin. Yeah.
Right. They just can't figure out what to do with her. Has she impressed me a few times in the ring? Sure.
That
you
doesn't
know.
mean anything
Well,
anymore.
then,
though.
Well, right.
But my question is, isn't that an issue with booking? Because I remember a few months back, we actually credited her the first time we saw her in a WWE roster, like in ring match, and we were like, you know what, she actually wasn't bad, and we took a few minutes and talked about her. But her booking's horrible, right? Like you just said, 1 week with Michin, 1 week she's
Right.
with the Street Profit. There's like no, she hasn't had a storyline since never. Like,
Yeah, it's
ever.
true.
You know, like.
Yo, you're not wrong.
Like if you're gonna make her a bleacher creature, at least give her a shot at a little something. See where it goes. See if us as fans gravitate towards that, and then you could make a decision. But like, I don't think that's a fair shot. You know, like I feel like Chelsea Green had that treatment, but Chelsea Green made us love her. You know, that could be the difference between her and B-Fab and her, right? But maybe that's not her strength.
Well,
But-
Chelsea has the personality.
Correct.
Chelsea hits
Right.
everything she does out of the
Well,
park.
that's because Chelsea is another animal. But I was just giving the
Right.
example from the point that, you know, like another one, LA Knight. Like this motherfucker came in as a model agent? Like
That's right.
as a model agent for two
Yeah.
wrestlers that were worse than him? Like that made no sense. You know, and like
Yep.
He's not
this
wrong.
guy finally said, you know what? Fuck it. Give me my shot. I'm going to go at it. And look at him. We criticize him, but at the end of the day, he's always in the show and he's wrestling every single day on TV. Monday
Yeah,
and Friday on TV for us.
I just think they missed the window on him. Like him being
Right.
in a world title match right now is silly. It's like it's just I understand they need to elevate these guys, and I'm glad they're doing it. But it just seems like after years of not being considered a top guy, all of a sudden he's in contention because now there are two world titles, and one's the A title and one's the B title. You can be like, oh well, he can go after the B title.
Well, just keep in mind one thing, right? I think I mentioned this before. He is this age's Razor Ramon.
I
He's
get it.
He's the semi-final boss before you go get your title. And
Yes,
every
you know
time he
what?
goes for a title, he falls short.
I'm 100% on board with that. I agree totally. And just to circle back to BFAB, I think we're nailing down the big difference when you talk about people like Chelsea or you talk about LA Knight. What is a BFAB? Who is BFAB? Why is
Exactly.
BFAB? Where is Gamora? You know what I mean? It's like,
Why
Who is why is Gamora?
yeah,
Why is
exactly. We need to know more. Thank you guys for understanding that reference. We need to know more. I understood that reference. We need to know more about BFAB. Like, there needs to be either BFAB, the character, needs to be explained in vignettes and explained by character work when she's out there in her promos and out there wrestling, or
It's too late. I don't
then
care.
The other option I was going to suggest is no more BFAB. Fucking change it up. Go away
Vince.
for a little while. New name, new gimmick, the whole deal. Yeah.
Vince, not to leave you hanging, flying monkeys.
Yeah.
When you said I understood that reference, flying monkeys.
Yes. So that's the one. Fuck.
So
Well, Steve, to your reference, though, really quick, when you said like, "Who cares about BFAB?" Whatever, we were having these same conversations about Liv Morgan 6 years ago when she was part of the Riot Squad. We didn't give two shits about Liv Morgan. She left,
true.
revamped herself, proved her
Right.
worthiness, and now she's one of the top female stars in the WWE.
she's the only one that survived out of that entire group.
Who
And
would
if you
have guessed
think
that?
about it, when they portrayed the group in front of us, you would seem that she would have been the least likely to make it out, right? Because you had the leader and Ruby and
Yeah.
whatever her name was, Ruby Riot, right? No,
Yeah,
it was
Ruby
Ruby
Riot,
Riot.
Sarah Logan,
Ruby Riot, and then you had the other cave girl that she was a
Sarah,
bruiser,
yeah.
Sarah
and
Logan.
then this
Yeah,
girl was just the girl that took the bumps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Liv
the
was
Harley
just the
Quinn
bump girl.
wannabe. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she transformed herself or whatever. So it is possible to make it do it to her, but like you said, we need to know something about this girl.
And we also just have to all maybe take a second and ask ourselves: does BFAB, and I don't know the answer to this, does BFAB have it in her to do this, to make these changes, to be more charismatic, or to show more character than just having like this weird name and like hanging around certain people, and then one week they're hanging around other people? It's like I don't know if she can do it. Can't like.
Right. No,
I guess
you're right.
we'll see. I'm not saying she is or isn't. I'm just saying right now it's just she hasn't shown that.
Right.
If you looked at her and put her 10 years ago, we might like her. But the fact is, there's so much talent, and women
Yeah.
wrestling has evolved
true.
so much in a positive way that like she doesn't even fit with our top 15, 20 girls that we could think
Yeah.
of. Like nowhere
Yeah.
near them.
And that
Sure.
goes to show, just because like with the performance center, and I bumped the microphone, the performance center and the indies, and working overseas in Japan and this and that in Mexico, there's a lot of opportunities now for female wrestlers to go places to get better, whether that is just going through that NXT program and then coming out the end of it, or like a Stephanie Vaquer going to Mexico, going to Japan,
Yeah.
and then getting signed. So you're right, she's good and she's a good wrestler, but that's not
Enough
right.
Good
In
enough,
2025, it's not enough.
is not enough.
Especially when it's entertainment.
This is the longest anyone, excluding her
ever spoke
parents,
to-
have talked about BFAB.
I was about to say that we broke the record from the 5 minutes last time.
Jesus Christ.
The one train wreck of the entire show was Nikki
Oh.
Bella versus Becky Lynch.
Match of the night.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Get out of here.
5 stars.
You're grounded.
I mean, there really were only. Listen, overall, I didn't think Nikki was terrible, but there were two massive spots that just looked horrible. One where she jumped off the top and missed by a mile, but I don't know if that
Holy
was.
shit.
But I don't know if that was so much Nikki or Becky. It seemed like Becky was out of place. She was too far back.
away.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can kind of blame Nikki for that, but nonetheless looked like shit. And then, you went from the ring post spot where you're bashing Becky's head into the ring post, which looked great and sounded great, to then moving over to the announce table, and the way where the camera was positioned, you could see how horrible that looked. Like her head never really even touched the table, and it was a horrible moment in the match.
But that
but
looked like that part looked like that was more Becky's fault than Nikki's. I can't.
But see,
say
that's what I'm trying to say. I think both those spots were really more Becky than they were Nikki, unfortunately.
It was not their fondest moment. I can say that.
No.
Either one.
I mean, I don't think the match was terrible, but definitely wasn't my favorite match of the night.
Well, I mean, let's
Nikki
put
was trying to
standards
take
into
out
it.
John Cena.
That might be as bad as wrestling if I've seen from both those ladies in a very long time. So
Yeah.
for their standards, as great as Becky is in my eyes, and I do believe that Nikki is a good wrestler, I thought that was bad. Might have been the worst match of the night.
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next match, which I didn't have very high expectation for, just because we've seen it a bunch already. Not to say that it wouldn't be a good match, but I got to tell you, Sheamus and Rusev was a great match.
They beat.
I mean, they beat the fucking shit out of each
Oh
other.
my god!
Yeah,
It
that
was great,
brutal.
and there were some great spots in that match. I was glad to see Rusev go over. But I mean, you talk hard hitting. I thought that was great.
Man got
So-
beat with a shillelagh to the
Yeah.
chest. Fuck.
Oh, that was great. The 10 beats. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was great
that
with the
was
shillelagh.
insane.
A couple minor observations. One, I thought it was funny that they are just straight up using the horns from his AEW theme for Rusev now.
Yeah.
And two, it really, I don't know why it bothered me, and maybe it's because I'm not a 13-year-old girl or 17 or how old Autumn is, but just
I'm
see,
16, about to be 17. What
I
are you talking
am
about?
16.
Exactly.
Going
Going on
17.
17.
It bothered me on a deep philosophical level that we had a bar, we had beer barrels, we had all this stuff, and what is on top of it? Not breakable beer bottles, not breakable whiskey bottles, it's a good old-fashioned Donnybrook, and every beverage was a bottle of fucking Prime.
Let me tell you my issue
Are you
with Prime.
kidding me?
Let
No,
me
what
tell
is-
you my issue with Prime.
It's garbage.
I'm getting fired.
So I used to drink Prime like every day, and then they changed their freaking formula, and now I'm a Logan Paul hater because he messed up my drink formula. He messed up WWE. I will give him credit for his match though, but still, I personally am not a Logan Paul fan anymore. I've evolved. I think he's a piece of shit. Here we go.
I think Steve just fainted.
I also think he's built like a 4x4 Lego piece.
And that's funny because now I'm starting to like him.
I like it.
Yeah, we're just,
I like the guy.
We're going to spend the next 10 minutes talking about how good that match was.
Well,
Yeah,
so
he's great.
well, that was a perfect segue to then talk about the next match, which was John Cena versus Logan Paul. Again, as you would expect, the crowd when Cena came out was just electric. It was a great entrance. And once again, Logan Paul impressed. Every goddamn time he gets in the ring, he impresses me more and more. And at the end of the day, John Cena on his final run is hand choosing who he wants to work with, which means he hand chose Logan Paul because he sees something in him. And Logan Paul did a great job. The promos leading into it, every interaction leading up to the match, and then the match itself, Logan Paul looked great, and John Cena did a great job. I mean, I thought it was fantastic. The only thing that for me was missing was Brock Lesnar. I honestly, in my head going into it, I really thought Logan was going to go over because Brock Lesnar, the ref was going to take a bump, go down, Brock was going to come out, F5 John Cena, Logan was going to hit the splash and call it a day. But we didn't get Brock. And obviously, everything I'm hearing is that they are setting up Brock Cena for this ESPN WrestlePalooza. So we'll see.
Be a big old show.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest name for a PLE I've ever heard in my entire life. We
I
have
don't mind it.
Lollapalooza. We have
Well, exactly. That's what. Yeah.
Well,
what
but
it's
that's
based
why
on.
they're doing it.
The one thing, and this is not a Logan Paul problem. This is a John Cena, and it's not even a problem. This is John Cena being the good guy that he is, wanting to leave wrestling better than he found it. There were way too many fucking kickouts in that match. Logan Paul kicked out of way too much shit. Like, and John Cena got hit with so many fucking finishers, and it's just like at one point I was just like sitting there like, "Come on, man, you're John Cena," and I understand what he wants to do. It's his last run. He's got to put this guy over. He's going to be wrestling for several more years. John Cena's
And
retiring.
he did, though. By doing that, he put him way over.
But I was like, "Oh my god, how many more?"
There were a lot of false finishes. I can't disagree, but you can't deny that single-handedly put Logan Paul into a different category.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's if they continue booking him as a guy that can kick out of stuff like that, and they're booking him strong like a main eventer, then he's gonna be in. As we talked about it years ago when he came out, it was only a matter of time if he kept up on the progression that he was making, that he was going to be a world title contender for real, and not just like a joke match against Roman Reigns. And
I don't think we're too far off from that, to be honest.
We're pretty
I don't
close
either.
here. We're close, and I think it's probably the Seth title he would go after, if anything. Whoever has it, I'm just saying. I don't think he'd go after maybe he would go after Cody's title, but he wouldn't win.
No. I also don't think you put him in a situation where he goes after the world title until you want him to win at this point, because he's already had an opportunity against Roman. So, right? Roman was champion.
I see him winning.
Yes.
I see him probably winning a Money in the Bank and doing a cash in.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, I could see that too.
He's going to win Money in the Bank. This is how it's going to happen. Yep. He'll win Money in the Bank. Whatever pay-per-view he's going to cash in on. The match happens. The champion wins, but it's like a tough match. It's a falls count anywhere, whatever. Everybody's tired. A drone flies into the arena with the briefcase
and drops
on a hook and drops the briefcase off to the referee. Logan Paul's music hits. He runs out. Boom.
That
awesome. Would be freaking amazing.
That'll be great. I'm all for it.
And you could have the camera on it, so you get like, what's this? And like they cut to the first person footage of the drone flight. You're like, what's this? And then you see it. They do like the long shot, and it comes in, and you see like the big gold briefcase, and it goes right to the referee, and the referee.
It's a prime drone.
I think he would. I think he's a big enough star to go after Cody Rhodes' title, and it will make it that much bigger and so much more hated. The fact that he could become...
Well, if he cashes in on him.
I think if Logan Paul cashes in, I think if Logan Paul wins Money in the Bank, I'm 99.9% sure he will be successful cashing that shit in.
And you think it would be on Cody?
I see no way how WWE doesn't capitalize on that.
Oh, I agree. I think he wins, but do you think it's against Cody or you think it's against somebody else?
I just think it's against the Universal Undisputed Champion, regardless of who it is.
Whoever
I think he should go after. If I'm booking it, he's going after that belt.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, that's the A belt, and the other one's like the B belt. It's like, come on, you're like a WCW heavyweight champion, but in WWF.
So then you had your main event, Fatal 4-Way for the title, Rollins, Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, another great entrance for Jey Uso, great for CM Punk. Rollins was great. LA Knight was okay, but the match was great. I enjoyed the match. And then throughout, you're kind of wondering what Rollins has up his sleeve because his entire family has been banned from ringside. So you know something's going to happen, but you don't know what. And then, of course, as Punk is about to put it away and win the title, he gets hit in the nuts by a masked person who is Becky Lynch. I loved it. I thought it was great. Finally put her with her husband and put her with Heyman and put her in the group. I thought it's great. And, of course, that is what's going to hopefully set up the return of AJ Lee, especially after what took place on Raw this week, which we'll get into. David Rosca, Becky Lynch is desperate.
He said that twice. He wanted to make sure you.
He wanted to get that. I purposely didn't put it up because he likes to jump ahead, and I figure we might as well wait until we start talking about it. But I couldn't disagree more. Exactly. I don't think it has anything to do with desperation. It makes total sense to put her in that group. I love seeing her and Rollins together.
Yep.
Now, the question is, are we getting AJ Lee, or is it going to be a swerve and it's going to be Rhea Ripley? My feeling is everything is hinting and pointing to AJ Lee. They're going to be in Chicago Punk held up a fan sign at the end of Raw that said, "Bring back AJ Lee." The crowd has been chanting AJ Lee for weeks now. So that all makes sense. On the other hand, you've had backstage interactions with Punk and Rhea. She then came out and yeeted with them, which was seen on TikTok footage after the show. So do we think we are, in fact, getting the return of AJ Lee? And before any of you start, we might as well let Autumn give her opinion, even though she has mentioned Zoe Starks twice in the comments, which is why I haven't put them up on the screen. But go ahead, make it quick.
Make it quick.
Oh
I
my
think it's
god.
gonna be Zoe.
No, I think it's going to be Zoe
No, I'm
Stark.
kidding. I genuinely think it's gonna be AJ Lee. I've been doing some deep diving. You can ask Mom. I text her during study hall saying I genuinely think it's gonna be AJ Lee.
I do
But
too.
if it is AJ Lee, I will have Mom record me skipping around the house with my AJ Lee shirt, acting like I'm 6 years old again. Because the last time she was in WWE, I was 6.
Wow.
Let's just.
Wow.
AJ Lee was the first wrestler. I learned her theme song word for word. I was her for Halloween 4 years in a row.
Uh-huh.
I had everything. I was literally, my nickname growing up, I had everyone call me AJ.
I will say this. I really do hope that it is AJ returning. And I'm hoping that it's not a one-off. That she's not just going to come back, do this mixed tag at the ESPN. Because I'm assuming this is going to set up.
Yes.
The payoff is going to be on the ESPN debut, WrestlePalooza. It'll be the mixed tag, which I think is going to be great. I'm excited for it. I'm just hoping it's not a one-off for AJ and then she rides off into the sunset. I hope she sticks around for a bit.
And then just to interject, Steve, when you were talking about Rhea being in the ring and everything after it went off the air, CM Punk was not out there. He was already backstage. It was just Jimmy and Jay and LA Knight. Punk was not
That
part
is
of
true.
that.
That is true.
So
But
the only
they did
interaction
have
that
an interaction backstage, though.
on Monday Night Raw,
And he said,
Right.
I don't
but
need your
not
help.
during that. And he said, "I don't need your help" or whatever. So
Yeah, but every time they say that, that usually means they need their help. So
true, but I don't. But why would Rhea be in Chicago if she's on?
And Rhea is on Raw, not SmackDown.
Exactly.
does that
They hang
really
out.
fucking matter?
They hang out.
Everyone's been
They
showing up on
always
everyone's
cross.
shows.
Every time.
Thank you. Maybe for Grande Americano.
Oh
Sorry.
Jesus Christ!
Which one? There's like 10 of them now. There's a tall one, a short one, a medium one. There's a white one, a Mexican one.
Gable.
Jasim, what's going on? Our friend over at
Yeah.
YouTube. How's it going? So I thought it was a great finish to the show. And then that brought us over to Raw. You had
Well,
Punk.
Steve, I
Go
just
ahead.
gotta, I want to interrupt for 1 sec because very recently, within the last hour or so, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com is reporting that AJ Lee is indeed returning, and it could end up being more than a one-off.
There we go.
Nice.
I mean, there has been footage
Right.
showing AJ training with CM Punk.
Right.
And taking bumps and stuff. So I really do think it is gonna. I mean, that crowd in Chicago when her music hits is gonna
He's
be
literally
insane.
crying at the thought of AJ being back. Like,
It's gonna be SmackDown.
Y'all don't understand. AJ.
That
This
I will-
is 16, ladies and gentlemen.
yep, I will.
This is what it's all about.
You're there in a few years, darling.
I'm 17 in 19 days, guys.
I will videotape the shit out of that if AJ shows up on
That's
Friday
it's
night.
gonna go viral.
Yep.
We're gonna put it everywhere.
That's right.
Hey Siri, text Aunt.
Don't text your boyfriend. Good job.
Why no
I
voice?
can't do
You
that
can't
right.
voice text during a podcast.
I just texted him.
Has she learned nothing?
But
Type it. Just type it.
She literally just texted him though. I cannot see you Friday night because I think AJ Lee is coming back. She just texted her boyfriend. She just texted her boyfriend that they can't hang out because
She had to wash her hair and watch SmackDown.
That's so funny. David Rosca, AJ Lee is hot. Yeah, she is. Always has been, and when she was Psycho, made her even hotter. Quite honestly. So yeah, I'm excited for AJ Lee. And then that brings us over to Monday Night Raw. We had Jey Uso start off the show with a Yeet Fest. In a foul mood, though, because he expected to win the title and he didn't. And he was pissed off that Roman was laid up in a hospital to film Street Fighter. Laid up in a hospital.
That was great.
God damn it!
I'll be here all day. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
Thank you. You had the Judgment Day versus the Kabuki Warriors. Obviously, there's something big happening with Asuka, Io, Rhea, the Kabuki Warriors. Although they did go over on the Judgment Day, so the Judgment Day has been losing quite a bit with Roxanne and Raquel. But it's going to be interesting to see where this goes with Asuka. I think a heel turn is just days away. And I like Asuka as a heel anyway, so that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And I also do like that they have officially announced also at WrestlePalooza, we're going to have Stephanie Vaquer go one-on-one with Io for the women's title that is vacated by Naomi. So that match is going to be great. I could actually see Asuka costing Io that match, and Stephanie is going to be your new women's champion.
So she's gonna have both. Is she's got some other belt, doesn't she?
Stephanie Vaquer?
I thought she. Oh no, she
No,
had.
No,
no,
she
no.
lost that
it.
already. Yeah.
She lost it.
She lost it to Chelsea Green.
Gotcha. 10-4.
That's right. Yeah.
Canada.
So,
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they haven't been showcasing Vaquer because she's very good in the ring. I feel like she hasn't wrestled in a few days. I haven't seen her in a few weeks. Has she wrestled? She's just been doing some like promotion.
My fault, OG.
well, she was supposed to take on Naomi for the title, and then Naomi got pregnant. So it kind of
No. But I'm just saying in general, like has she wrestled? Am I bugging? Have I not seen her in the last?
outside
couple
of house shows, I don't think we've seen her wrestle since that battle royal where she became number
Right.
one contender.
So how
Correct.
is she number one contender? But now we don't see her like that. That booking don't make sense to me a little bit. You know,
Maybe they're
at least
keeping
have
her
her come
safe.
in, cut a promo, beat somebody ass, like do something.
Yeah, just keep your name out there.
Yeah, lie to me, do something. Like, come on.
But there's no doubt in my mind that Stephanie's not going over and winning that title.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like, especially since Io has so recently had it,
Right.
it would only make sense for
And
Steph.
with everything going on with Asuka and that whole thing, it only makes sense that they screw her over.
Right. Either a miscommunication that leads to them splitting up after the match, or they just straight up turn on her and cost her the match.
Right.
Right. Or
Right.
interfere in a non-willing but willing way.
David Rosca really likes Stephanie Vaquer and her face buster move, which we all do enjoy.
Did you see that Queen Amanada does a similar move now called the Chocolate Kiss?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Great-
No.
great name. Great name.
You know what? I do give it a B for the name. That's pretty good.
Or is it beef the butt?
Then you had Finn Balor versus Dragon Lee. That was another great match. The New Day and Grayson Waller versus the War Raiders and Penta. It was good to see the War Raiders back together again in the ring. We haven't seen them in a while. And to put them with Penta, I mean...
The Penta walk was amazing with the freaking War Raiders.
It was awesome. It was
That was-
awesome.
Freaking fantastic.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was an exciting match. Yeah, go ahead,
Question
Al.
for you before we move on from this match, because I know there's not a lot of interesting things to talk about, but there's one person that I just want to know is that what he became? Is this what Finn Balor is? Is this what the great Finn Balor is, the tag team guy for
Yeah.
the rest of his
Yeah.
career?
I don't
that
think for
what
the
he
rest of
became?
his career. But
He's just a little hidey Irish guy, you know what I mean? He's done. He injured himself in the match where he won the world title, and he's never even sniffed another world title again.
Ever. Oh
They
my
had God himself interfere in a match and snap the top rope so that he couldn't win. That's how badly they don't want him to have the title. They booked God to fuck him over.
Jesus Christ. It's sad, man. Like, I'm a fan of him. I think I feel
That match, him losing that title match, and again, you know, it was a generational run by Roman, but it did kind of do a lot of people dirty. He was dressed as the Demon for like the first time in a while. He was all set up to like hit the big stomp and like win the title, and the fucking rope snaps. That's how you get out of it. Like, I just,
Vince McMahon is stupid.
It killed the Demon gimmick. He hasn't done it since. It killed Finn Balor, and he really didn't bounce back until he had to reinvent himself with the Prince thing, with the X in it, and then he did this.
I will say this about
Judgment
Finn
Day.
Balor. I'm a very big fan of Finn. I always have been. He's just amazing in the ring. I don't love him as a heel. Like, he's one of those guys, for me, he's better as a face. He's been a heel a long time, and it just doesn't do it for me. And I think you turn him back to a face, you can then bring back that demon gimmick too. And you can just have the Finn of old. You know what I mean? There'd be some good feuds even within the Judgment Day guys that you can have, like Finn Balor and Dirty Dom and this and that. But Finn as a heel just hasn't worked for me. It's just a personal opinion. I like Finn, but I think he's better as a face. Just see him over at YouTube. I feel like the Judgment Day storyline used to get over at some point. I can't stand the storyline between the Judgment Day. I mean, it's getting a little stale and old at this point, no?
Definitely.
It's got to take a twist or a turn somewhere nowadays. Like, I agree. And also, you know, not that you need to retread the demon thing, but one of the draws of Finn Balor wrestling in main events in New Japan was that when he did the airbrushed body paint, it was all different. Sometimes he'd come out as Punisher. Sometimes he'd come out as Venom. Sometimes he'd come out as different, you know, different characters. And every time it was different because WWE wanted to market it as this very consistent thing. They have one look for, and they modified the look over the years, but basically it was the same look for the demon the whole time. And while that was cool, and sometimes he'd do like a Jack the Ripper hat when he was in London, and there were like little, sometimes unique touches. Like, I feel like they missed an opportunity, whereas when Rey Mysterio comes out dressed like the Flash or Batman or the Joker or whatever it is, it's a special thing. It's like, oh, this is WrestleMania and he's dressed up like this character. We know it's his special entrance. And like, just every time you see the demon, you're like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be. And then it's just the demon again. And then it just became, oh, he's coming out as this thing, the fucking demon. And, you know, maybe not do the demon necessarily, but I would be interested in seeing him bring back body paint, like the colored body paint, as part of like his whole entrance and his whole.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I like that idea.
And it wouldn't be a thing that he could do with the Judgment Day. He would have to turn babyface to do that.
Right.
I mean, he's been heel long enough, so.
And I don't know. They'd probably have to make him new music at this point, but I did like when they did that. The lights flashed and the music went bah, and he went and everybody went and put their hands up. Yeah, it was great. That was.
They could bring that back.
Yeah.
The crowd would love it if they brought that back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good night. Speaking of Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ. Again, we talked about how great the crowd was to AJ. Great match. I am getting tired of AJ getting screwed by outside interference. I feel like we've seen this a million times over already.
Is that you can't beat him straight up, and
which I'm okay with, but you know, it's always the same thing. Americano shows up, he puts the fucking thing in his mask and headbutts him. Like it's just.
And if there was a time for him to take a title and finally have a title, because it's been a minute since he's had one, that would have been the fucking crowd and the place to do it.
Right.
I just don't know if they're going to... does this story end with AJ getting the title back in his last year before he retires? Is that the story they're telling? Or is he strictly putting over Dom and Dom is moving on to somebody else?
That's a very good question.
I mean, at this point, shit. You would think he goes for a repeat. He should go get it. I mean, it's AJ Styles you're talking about.
I was gonna say, and AJ doesn't need to put Dom over. Dom is so fucking on point right now. There's no reason.
That's true.
There really is absolutely no reason why they can't just.
It's got to end with AJ winning in the end at this point. I mean, obviously the story's continuing because he keeps getting screwed. It's not like Dom is beating him clean. So It just
So,
gives
then who
more
helps
reason
AJ?
for them. You know, like now they'll put him in the cage or they'll do something.
Or who
Right,
helps
and
AJ
AJ will
Styles
win
with the
because
outside
there's
interference?
unless
What-
you have
That's
somebody under the ring for Dom, there's no way
Well,
Dom
see,
should come out of a cage match against AJ and win.
this is what I would love to see is that the Americanos come out to interfere on Dom's behalf, but every time one of them comes out, a different babyface superstar comes out dressed like AJ Styles with the little cutoff vest and everything, and
That'd
one
be
of them
great.
has to be Hornswoggle
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god,
because I don't know if you guys saw it.
Soon?
that's the Vince McMahon in you.
There was a video from TNA from just a couple years ago where I think it was Ethan Page. Somebody was like, "We're bringing back AJ Styles," and they played his music, and Hornswoggle came out in AJ Styles gear with the little hood on and the gloves, and he did like a spot on AJ Styles impression the whole time. It was fucking hilarious. But I don't know. I feel like they have to do something to combat the Americanos, whether it's like they're banned from ringside, like you said, cage match. I think it would be interesting because eventually I just feel like this is the modern doink dink stink whatever.
Ink, and pink.
Yeah, all the clowns. So
Well, if you're
the
bringing Dink, then you do need Hornswoggle.
right, my only see, but that's what I'm saying. My only logical conclusion is if they keep building up all of these Americanos, we've got to have something silly on the other side. AJ Styles dressed like a janitor, for Christ's sake. You're telling me you can't find 4 guys to dress like AJ Styles and interfere in his match? Like, I just something's got to give.
So you want Duke the Dumpster Drosy?
Well, have you seen the outfit today? Have you seen the fit? The Duke fit. This is a full onesie, man.
That's hilarious.
That's
Oh, that's
fucking
awesome.
Fucking comfy as shit right now.
So wait, if you got to pee right now, you gotta drop to your ankles.
The zipper goes low enough to pee. If I got to poop, I'm pretty much naked.
Okay, that's the problem.
The only drawback. Other than that, very
That's
comfy.
the draw, exactly.
The draw's back, yeah.
So Punk calls out Rollins. Becky comes out, says, "I'm the man you're going to deal with." They go back and forth, have a verbal exchange, which was great.
Yep.
And then
She
Rollins
slapped the shit out of him, too.
Well, Rollins graced us with his presence. They had some back and forth. And then Becky slapped the shit out of Punk at least a dozen times. And then berated him to the point where he just looked and felt defeated and walked out. But he did say, "You're going to regret touching me."
Yep.
Which, again, fuels speculation about AJ Lee. You know, he's not going to hit a woman, but he knows somebody that will. David Rosca, Liv Morgan will come back as a face, beat the crap out of Becky Lynch. I definitely agree she's coming back as a face. I don't know the time frame for that. And if AJ Lee is coming back, nobody's going to care about what Liv Morgan is going to do at this point because she's got her hands full with Roxanne Perez.
I was going to say, Liv's got unfinished business with the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am glad that WWE finally figured out after a decade that Seth and Punk's wives are way more interesting than them, and they should let them do more stuff. So I'm just glad we're all on the same page finally.
I mean, I'm excited for this,
Dude, because Becky, listen, I'm just saying, Becky went out there with a guy. First of all,
I
no
got
knock
your
on CM
ball
Punk.
sweat on me. On my
Yes.
hoodie.
Oh, my hoodie. Yes. Oh my god, that was
She's-
amazing.
She like CM Punk, inarguably one of the best promo guys ever, has actually bamboozled both the people backstage and the people that buy tickets into thinking that he's the best wrestler in the world when he's built like a guy that coaches first base at Little League. It's amazing. He's great. He's a great talk. He's one of the top probably 5 talkers of modern wrestlers. Becky went out there and stood toe to toe with him in the ring. And we already knew she was one of the best female promos, but now she went out there with one of the legit top guys. It's the same thing when you talk about Toni Storm. She's not just a great women's wrestler. She is one of the top wrestlers in that company.
Yes.
right?
And that just showed it. Like now that they're not just these goofy baby faces, oh, we just got married, ha ha, he bullshit, like they did the first time. Now that they can like
Yes.
be heels and really lean into it, like this. We talked about this last week, Kat. I was not into the Becky Lynch heel run, and I thought it needed something. And
Right.
this is what and this is what Seth needed. The whole group gets better with her in it. It's a net positive for everybody.
So David Rosca,
Yep.
I got to address this. It makes a comment.
He's got-
Trish Stratus should
He's
come
got his
back
favorites. He's got his
and be
favorites.
with CM Punk. Listen, I get he loves Trish Stratus, but what fucking sense would it make for Trish to come back to help CM Punk?
He's a young boy. He doesn't know any better. He loves Trish Stratus.
I love Trish Stratus too, but what sense does it fucking make?
Just
It
wants
makes
to see her
no
wrestle.
sense.
He wants to see her wrestle again.
Well, that's fine, but then come back. What does it have to do with coming back to be with CM Punk?
I don't know, because then it would be on pay-per-view on ESPN.
vey.
I don't know, man. Listen,
If
I
Trish
know,
Stratus comes out, she might get booed.
Steve. The last time we tried to dive deep into the mind of David Rosca, we barely made it out alive. So I
That's
don't know.
If anybody comes out to help CM Punk other than AJ, they're gonna get booed.
100%.
Yeah, if
Even Ripley, who is like the most over woman in the company right now, she would get booed if it's not AJ.
100%.
Yes.
So now they've put themselves
100%.
in a corner where, I don't think I shouldn't say that because I don't think they'd be doing all the hinting that they are if they didn't already have this signed, sealed, and delivered that AJ is going to be a part of the storyline.
Right.
So-
You know what it is one of those things that, as a
Right.
fan, you know how when we know something's happening and it doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Oh, you get so
This
butthurt.
isn't one of those times. We know
No.
it's
Yeah.
happening and it's happening.
It's happening.
It's just like one of those, it's happening.
It's
It's
happening.
happening.
Even Big E and Redmond,
Yes.
is that her name? Even they made a comment
Yep.
in the after show,
Mhm.
and they actually used AJ's name. So
Yeah.
even though we haven't spoken of her on Raw or SmackDown, they did mention it in the after show. So everything is leading
I
to it.
feel like it's happening, man.
It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, and she can still go.
And because that's
now here's the
because even when Punk talks about her, he never calls her AJ. He refers to her as April. So we're hearing
That's true.
the words AJ Lee.
him and Phil Margera both call their wives April.
Oh my God. I'm so, like, this is pretty awesome. And it's true. I wish it's not a one time. I wish at first, obviously, it's going to be a mixed tag team match.
Yeah.
With obviously they should be going over. First time
Right,
back in a
yeah,
long
I mean-
time. And then she could branch off and have her own little feud with her for the IC title. Who knows? That would be great.
Yeah, and it's different than no knock on Brie Bella. Her and Nikki Bella were arguably a very big deal for the time. AJ Lee commands a different price. AJ Lee commands a different sense of respect and nostalgia from the fans, and I think has a lot of negotiating power in terms of not commanding her own price or naming her own price, but getting a very good payday to come back to something that she's retired from a decade ago. Like she could, with the money that they're throwing around, and not throwing around, they're
She's
earning the money.
definitely getting paid big
Just
for this.
you know, the contracts that they're giving to
course
these
she
top
is.
guys. I mean, it's, and then you know that's a what do they call it? Dink, double income, no kids.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have a how long ago was it that AJ's hasn't been back around, you said?
I think it's been 12 years.
March 15th,
And-
March 15th, 2015 was her last match.
Okay.
And AJ is not in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Well, no, because her and Punk were persona non grata for a very long time.
True.
Even when fans were still trying to chant for AJ Lee to get her back when Punk was gone, and there were still rumblings of like her coming back, but it just never materialized into anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But was her run sufficient enough to be?
I don't think either one of them ever would
Hall
have
of
come
Fame?
back.
'Cause I think
100%.
I think she deserved. I mean, I remember her runs being very good, and she was so over with the crowd with that nutty character of hers. I would be asking questions, but that was I'm sorry, but
Yeah, for the
it was
Divas
great.
Championship, she is the longest. Yeah, for the Divas Championship, she is the longest reigning Diva champion.
Okay, so that's a pretty good stat to be out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And she was a big part of like Daniel Bryan's run. She was the general Dolph Ziggler's run with and Big E initially when they first came up. She was big, you know. She put over Paige.
She was at that thing with
Right.
Kane.
Yeah, she was general manager.
She and Paige were part of the. Yeah,
She was great as general manager.
she was
She
part of
was
the reason
very
why. And she was part of the reason why the women's evolution was happening and everything like that. It was stuff that she and Paige were putting out there to change women's wrestling.
Yeah,
That's so cool. You just sounded like a transformer.
She
To
did.
me, at least.
yeah. The internet's like kind of choppy, so your voice was all robotic.
You
It was
sound
cool.
like Optimus Prime.
You were like auto-tuned. It was great, like
It was
T-Pain.
awesome. Say something else.
There's worse things to sound like. There's worse things to sound like an Optimus Prime. So I'm good.
Well,
Autobots.
on that note, ladies and
Roll out.
gentlemen, we have reached the top of the hour.
If you played "You Got the Touch" right now, I would have shit my pants. But yes, we'll close things out tonight. Thank you for guys for tuning in. We had a lot of live viewers coming in and out tonight. We had a lot of comments in the comment section. Most of them were Autumn, but you know, we do appreciate you guys. David, of course, coming in early. Tara's always in there. Tanya and Joey, thank you. Autumn, of course. And I think that was... Oh, and of course, Jasim. Jasim's been in here, too. David Roska with the last comment of the night. Thank you, sir. Small note for fans of women's wrestling like David Roska. Kelly has signed a new WWE deal and said she turned down an appearance at Evolution 2, but it seems like she's either got a Legends deal or some sort of comeback scheduled. So Kelly on the radar. Guess we'll see. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Yes, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Go to either Facebook or YouTube and type in "Tag Me a Date" in your search bar. On Facebook, that will put up our Facebook page where you can hit the thumbs up, like the page, and our live stream will show up in your main news feed. If you go to YouTube, type "Tag Me a Date" in the search bar and hit subscribe and the notification bell. You will get notified when we go live on your tablet or your phone. And otherwise, if you want to follow us on social media, go to Tag Me a Date on different platforms such as Twitter/X, Instagram. I don't know where else we have the. She has a short theme. I don't know where else we're at Tag Me a Date, but if you look at Tag Me a Date, we're a lot of places. If you look on TikTok, that one's different. TikTok is the War Report Podcast, all one word. Just type that in your search bar, and you will see our page there. So follow us on TikTok. On Instagram and TikTok, we post shorts and reels of what we discussed the week prior, leading up to Tuesday night's show, so you can kind of catch up if you didn't see the show. As I said, we have our live stream. We have our archives on Facebook and YouTube, but we also have the audio version of the podcast on your favorite podcast apps, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts. Just type in Tag Me a Date, type in the War Report. You will see the logo that's in the top right of the screen. Hit that subscribe button, and it will be delivered to you after the show goes off the air. Ryan rips the audio, uploads it to the podcast apps. It just gets sent right to you once you subscribe. That's all you need to do is subscribe, and on your way out, leave a like, share it, whatever you do. Every little bit helps. Every comment, every like, every share gets us into the algorithm more, so we definitely appreciate those. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time, for another edition of the War Report After Dark. Have a great week.